to 14.
Okay, we're all unanimous here in Arizona. Okay, next up here is a game that we pretty much have to talk about just because this is the NGSC West Recess, and it's a West Coast-related game. San Francisco versus Cleveland. I guess the really exciting news from this game is that Johnny Manziel gets his job back for the 86th time this season, and the 49ers, they're still playing well, but they really don't have much of a running game to speak of. Jerome, he'll draw the start again this week. Blaine Gabbert, I mean, he's playing like he wants to be in the 49ers plans going forward in 2016. I mean, he's gotten him a few wins since he's taken over as starter, and he seems to have developed a rapport with Anquan Bolden and Torrey Smith. I mean, in a game, however, with two putrid football teams playing, I'm going to go ahead and take the home team in this one. I think Manziel, he'll have the crowd behind him, and he'll find Gary Barnes late for a touchdown. Brown 16, 49ers 13. D. Will.
I think San Francisco wins this game. They've been playing solid defense lately. So that game against Seattle, we kind of have to throw that out the books. They defeated a good Atlanta Falcons team, and they went into Chicago last week and waxed them. I think they will do the same thing against Cleveland. Cleveland's really trash on offense. They're a bad football team, and their defense is terrible. I think Sean Jones is going to have a big game. I'm predicting Sean Jones to have over 150 yards total. He is pretty much their only offense right now. They pass him the ball a lot. They hand the ball off to him a lot. Their tight end, Matt McDonald, is out right now. Torrey Smith, he's hitting and miss. I don't think Cleveland could score the ball. Pretty much, that's what it boils down to. San Francisco about over a touchdown.
Okay, you got the 49ers there. What you got for this one, Josh?
Yeah, I'm going to take the 49ers, too. I think they're the better team overall. I think they have they're just overall more talented team. I think that Manziel, this quarterback situation in Cleveland is a disaster, and their coach is bipolar, or something's wrong with that guy. But they definitely can't make up their mind who they want to quarterback that team, and I think that train wreck is going to show its ugly head in this game, and the 49ers probably win this one pretty easily, if you ask me, 28-14.
Okay, we got two 49ers, one Browns here. All right, next up here we got ourselves the AFC West showdown here between two teams on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. The San Diego Chargers at 3-9, they've just pretty much folded up the tip for the season. I mean, they can't move the ball anymore. All the wide receivers are hurt. Me and Josh will be lining up at wide receiver. We'll put D. Will in the slot and see how many completions Phillip Rivers can get. But other than that, the Chiefs, man, they're doing it up. The defense is playing very well behind young Marcus Peters, Tom Bahali. Justin Houston might be back this week, and that could really help their defense. I don't really see San Diego mounting much of a threat in this game. Outside of Melvin Gordon and Antonio Gates, they don't have much of anything. The Chiefs continue their march towards the playoffs with a 30-7 victory. D. Will.
We're going to see a lot of Spencer Ware and Kendrick West in this game. It's like that Phillip Rivers has absolutely nobody to throw to. I kind of feel bad for him a little bit, man, because his receivers are just falling off the face of this earth right now. And it wouldn't surprise me if another one of their wide receivers falls off the face of this earth this week. Is Herndon going to get hurt this game too? So, I mean, there's not much to talk about here. This game will be a blowout. Chiefs will win this by 2 scores.
All right, Josh?
Yeah, I agree. There's not much to talk about here. Chiefs will win easily. It'll be 31 to... I like the number 31, so we'll go with that. Chargers 10.
Okay. We've all got Kansas City blowouts here. Okay, moving on here to another game that could be a potential blowout here. The Seattle Seahawks, they've pretty much won 3 in a row, and all 3 very convincingly since that loss to Arizona that D. Will and Josh will not let me hear the end of. Russell Wilson, however, he seems to have found his game, throwing 5 touchdown passes against Pittsburgh and 3 last week. And Doug Baldwin has seemed to have become rejuvenated also, although it kind of sucks that they don't have Jimmy Graham anymore for the stretch run. Thomas Rawls has become the new beast mode, meaning that we may be seeing the end of the old beast mode. And Baltimore, they're kind of like San Diego. They're just ready for the draft. They're floating up the tent. You've got Matt Shaw playing quarterback. You don't really have much going on. You don't have much of a shot in this one. Seattle, 34. Baltimore, 14. D. Will.
You know what, man? Seattle's going to win this game, but I don't think it's really going to be a blowout. This Baltimore team has a lot of pride. They do some things on offense. One thing that we're probably going to guarantee to see in this game is Matt Shaw is going to throw another pick 6. He'll probably throw 2 pick 6s, and Seattle will win the game defensively. The offense, is really much a ground and pound defense, a ground and pound game right now. Although Russell Wilson has been doing some things lately, Baltimore does have a shady secondary, but I'm I'm just not a believer that Doug Baldwin could keep this thing up that he's been doing over the past few weeks. I don't see Doug Baldwin going off again like this. And on the other side, you just have Jermaine Kearse. Tyler Lockett will probably be your most productive wide receiver this game, catch a couple short passes and run it in. But I have Seattle winning this game by under a touchdown.
Ooh, a close one there. What you got, Josh?
Seattle is going to kind of go the same route as D. Will. It's going to be closer. I don't think Seattle blows them out by any stretch of imagination, but I do think we're going to see a lot of Wilson, a lot of Rawls, and Seattle will pull away at the end, probably winning by a touchdown, something like 21-14.
Okay, we've all got Seattle here. And our last prediction for the week, we got the big one here. The Oakland Raiders are 5-7. Still faintly alive in the playoff mode by some grace or miracle of God, but they're going into a Denver Bronco team who they're still trying to figure out things with young Brock Osweiler. He hasn't lost a start yet, and they've still got that defense. In this game, I think what the Raiders need to do is go ahead and try to attack them early with Olawale and Latavius Murray, open up those passing lanes for Amari Cooper if he can ever get the bricks out of his hand, and Michael Cooper, our new $32 million, and Michael Crabtree, our new $32 million man. This may be a game where you see a lot of Marcel Reese, and if they can get that done, and that defense, Khalil Mack, he seems to be coming alive, 3 sacks in his last 2 games, and with Charles Woodson being the ageless wonder that he is. The Raiders, I do believe that in the fourth quarter they'll have themselves a shot at this one. The C.J. Anderson, he's a bit injured, and D.J. Hayden actually did a pretty good job last time around on Demaryius Thomas. We're going to probably need a little bit more of that, and now that David Amerson has pretty much acclimated himself to the defense, hey, things should be a lot easier for this one. I'm not going to make a prediction here, but I will say it will be a one-possession game in the fourth quarter, and the Raiders will have a chance to win it. What you say, D. Will?
If the Raiders cannot keep the Broncos under 20 points, it won't be a win at all. I'm just gonna. I spoke about this game a little bit earlier. I'm just gonna say the Broncos win this game like 23-17.
All right, Josh.
I was gonna pick the Raiders because I think there might be an upset in this game, but I'm just going with the Broncos, 21-20. And we did miss a game, by the way.
We did miss a game, yes, we did. That would be that Detroit-St. Louis game.
Yes, sir.
Another game that we have to go through just because the NGSC says we have to. It's the West Coast game, Detroit-St. Louis. I may sweep through this one. I'm going to say Detroit 19, St. Louis 10. They've got a little bit more offense than the Rams, and that's going to be the difference. Nick Foles gets benched for me in the second half of that game. Detroit, they're pissed off that they got ripped off last week against Green Bay. They'll take the win. What you say about that one, D. Will?
St. Louis has been falling off. Todd Gurley definitely has hit the rookie wall. And this offense is just terrible, man. Like, without a few gimmick plays from Tavon Austin, this offense isn't doing anything at all. And Detroit has been playing some pretty good football, ever since they fired their offensive coordinator. And Jim Bob Cooter has been calling Bob Jim, whatever his name is, but it's Cooter. He's been calling it a good game for this team. And this offense is riding behind him. And be on the lookout for Amir Abdullah, man. He's starting to make himself known as a solid running back in this league, and his carries have increased week after week after week. Detroit's going to blow this team out. Pissed off that Aaron Rodgers threw a Hail Mary on him last week. They're going to whack St. Louis. It's going to be like 31-13 on the road.
What you got there, Josh?
Yeah, definitely going to be the Lions win this one. I think the Lions offensively have been playing good, getting Theo Riddick involved, and Abdullah's running good, and Stafford's not making many mistakes right now, and Tate's been really hot lately too. And the Rams absolutely are terrible on offense. It's just embarrassing watching them play. So I don't think they'll score maybe in this game, but it'll be off a gimmick play like D. Will just mentioned, probably with Tavon Austin, but it's going to be an easy Lions win, I'd say. 38-14.
Okay, we've all got Detroit winning this one pretty easily here. Before I let you go, D. Will, I know you're a Dodger fan also, just like myself. How do you feel about this whole Aroldis Chapman situation as far as them holding up the trade and his domestic violence and whatnot?
It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do because a lot of sports teams have been catching a lot of bad PR because they think the inmates surrender asylum. They're not athletes aren't being held accountable to their off-field behavior. And, if the reports are true based on what this young man did, with the domestic violence, strangling his girlfriend, he has guns in the house and all those type of things, we do not need that in Los Angeles. We're really starting to build our team up. We're spending a lot of money. Ticket prices have been raised, and we do not need that on our team if all those things are true. I believe in this front office. This front office has made a lot of risky moves, but they've worked out. I just hope they don't trade the young prospects like Seager and young Jock Peterson. So I think it's a smart move to don't even wait for this trade at all. Just go ahead and cancel it. Although Chapman is an excellent pitcher, character comes first. And if you're going to sign a guy to a long contract, it has to be about the character. And I don't feel that we should sign him. We should look elsewhere.
I'm going to have to agree with you there, D. Will. The last few years, a lot of instances in the world of sports does start to make you think, hey, if you're beating up women and all that, it may be time for you to look elsewhere. And here in L.A., you're right, we don't need that. I mean, we got Magic Johnson up here trying to build a consistent winner. Sure, we lost Gwanke and things of that nature, but we did get a good pitcher in Iwo Kuma from Seattle. So I think he'll come in, he'll do the job. You still got Kenley Jansen as your closer, so there's really no need to jeopardize your integrity to sign a guy such as Aroldis Chapman to come in here, especially with a situation such as this hanging over his head. The specter of it could just pretty much jeopardize the chemistry of the team anyway. So just leave it alone, let Kenley Jansen be the closer, and we go forward with that. You got any final thoughts on this, Josh?
I think the Dodgers need to avoid bringing a toxic situation into spring training. I really think there's a lot of lessons out there in sports right now why it's not a good idea to sign people like this, or even they need to wait and see. They need to be fair about it, though. I think they do need to see what the actual details are before they make any rash decisions. But it doesn't sound good from what I'm reading, so that's my thought.
Yeah, it does sound like a really, really weird situation there, and that's pretty much our show tonight. I'd like to say thank you to D. Will for coming on tonight and getting some excitement to us tonight. So thank you, D. Will. Great job.
Okay, thanks for having me on, man. Just follow me on Twitter @SpitzGame, SPITSGAME, and look out for the weekend edition for the Fantasy Football Addict Support Group. It's a special weekend show this week. We're going to go ahead and break down all the fantasy football implications, games with fantasy football implications in this week's slate. Obviously, without this Thursday night game, so just keep your eye out on the NGSC Sports feed for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that, man. You and Rory got to get me in sometime. I really enjoy coming on there with you guys. You do a great job.
No doubt, man.
All right, there. And Tuesday nights here, I mean, I know that we're here on the West Coast, but my main man Josh Matson and Shaq Krosky, I mean, they do their Patriot thing over there on Tuesday nights now with the Flying Alex Faithful. Those guys, they do the New England Patriots more justice than I would or would even want to. But it's a great show. You learn a lot. And I listened to them earlier. Hey, I mean, they're pissed off at the Patriots right now for dropping 2 straight, but they're very smart guys. They're good friends of mine. It's a great show. And they also have themselves a new co-host along with them, John Doucette from the NGSC. So there's a lot of knowledge there. You guys check them out Tuesday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific over here on the NGSC. And
Josh,
Friday night.
I know that was you, man. I know that was you, Josh.
What's that?
I know that was you. I know that you did the Flying Illness.
Yeah, me and Shaq and John Doucette.
Okay.
And Friday nights here. You guys good over there?
Yeah, we're good. I mean, we're waiting on you to carry on with your NGSC stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Matson. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. And Friday nights here, if you can't get enough Raider talk here, you can find me and my main man Jim Paskowitz over there doing our Raider Nation thing with the Black Hole Brigade Friday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, real time here on the NGSC. We'll be breaking down what went wrong in the fourth quarter of that Kansas City-Oakland game, and hopefully finding a way that the Raiders can get the job done against Denver. So be on the lookout for that. It should be a good show like we always have. It's going to be a Raiderific good time. And for me, for Josh Matson and for D. Will, I'm Raider Jerome Butler, and this has been the NGSC West Coast Recess. We'll be right here next Wednesday night, 8 p.m., and hope to see you then. Good night. Go Raiders. Raider Rome, gone.
Good night.